Yeah, so DW Flame, I feel like his inability was to realize that, I think he understood the gravity of talking about serious topics.
Yeah.
But he was never down to compromise. Yeah. Oh, okay, let me do this for the content. See, in podcasts, you
got to compromise, man.
Unfortunately, for when you're on a platform, and I'm not going to say necessarily no jumper, but when you're on a platform that is aiming for the views, you gotta tell us who you shot. You gotta tell us.
You gotta get messy in some.
You gotta get messy, and I think I watched him at many different points try to hit the morality button, and it's not street dudes. It was fans saying, "Nah, we want the name," or "Nah, we want to crash out."
It's too cool for school type shit.
We could get messy though. You feel me? Like I said though, I'm not incriminating nobody. I'm not on here snitching, dry snitching, doing none of that.
Well, you might be smart enough to recognize both and play and actually maneuver that line.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you the story. I know if I mention this about this person or I say this person's name, it could put him in a pickle. Let me not do it. I don't think everyone has that skill. You seem kind of reserved.
But if they don't got that skill, they shouldn't even be talking about it though.
But a lot of times I think, at least from my own perspective,
right,
when you come from street culture, you come from a certain thing, the homie being how he is, you don't separate the two. Because like we just said, some things ain't supposed to be said. So it's a lot of content games that get played over the internet that I probably wouldn't know that y'all was already having going on. As far as in the sense, you might say something about somebody and then a nigga check you about it and be like, nah, that was just content. A person from the streets might look at it like, this ain't just content.
Facts.
So I think that's what separates until you learn that, oh, this is just the internet. This is how they play it. This is how you get views.
But here's another angle, though. Stop talking about stuff that's actively going on. Now, if you telling your war stories or whatever the case, that's your live life experience. You got a right to talk about your own story. Like P said, as long as you're not incriminating somebody, because they got a whole channel, Street Gangs, where you got, dudes who've been gangbanging. Yeah, a lot of Alex Alonso, shout out Alex, that been gangbanging 40, 50 years, and they didn't get nothing out of it. So this is their retribution. Like, okay, they're going to pay me for an interview to tell my story. That's completely different than, hey, the little homie just spent last night and chipped 2 niggas, and I'm on No Jumper today or whatever platform today talking about it. That's good. That's where the shit go left, because they talking about shit that's going on right now.
Right? So as a podcaster, right, as this being like your career and how you feed your family, what are you more, I guess, committed to first? The streets and the gang stuff that you have signed up for since, since like 12 years old, or this newfound career and passion, meaning this, right? Like, here, for example, if some like beef and shit took place, right, between like 2 gang members, right? As a gang nigga, bro, like you're not supposed to come on no platform and give your take on that particular shit and break it down to like a street level and give inside details, but you sort of have to because this is your new career. So what do you choose first? You choose the streets or you choose your,
Me, I'm gonna tell you like this. First of all, fuck the streets. I'm from the streets, but the streets ain't getting you nowhere. That's just keeping it 100. You feel me? So,
and that's coming from street nigga.
And that's coming from street nigga. Fuck the streets. And our platform isn't built on the streets. You feel me? You watch our content. You know what we talk about different things. But if it's, I'm gonna say this: if somebody puts it on the internet, it's now content. So to the street niggas, you can't get mad at the bloggers for blogging on shit you're putting out there. They don't know what's going on in the hood until you put it on the internet. And like, let's just say you got a rapper like King Von and Lil Tim. They got to shoot out in front of the club. That's not really snitching or giving any insight from the streets. Nigga, it's on camera. You see what happened. Yeah. So at that point, that becomes content. What's not content is you talking about the shooting that happened last week that Act don't even fucking know about. And you just put a tweet out about it. And now Act is making content on it. Like, you gave him that. That's the difference.
By the way, I've been in this position multiple times. I'm going to mention 2 examples. Hopefully this ain't snitching.
No.
But where, again, I've seen these supposed street niggas. And this is where, like, obviously I've done this career for at least, I'm like 15 years in at this point, that I've started to learn to discern, where it's like, yo, if P-Nice hit me and be like, yo, bro, I just killed that nigga right there, report it. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to be like, I know this is going to turn to A, B, C, D, and E. I'm not going to report it, but I know he gave me this info. Maybe I could try, like, I'm going to give you 2 examples. There was a shooting at Rolling Loud a few years ago in Miami. one of the crews involved, it was never reported who was involved in it. One of the people involved was a rapper, but he's a street nigga. I have a relationship with him. He hits me. He says, yo, that was our people who did that. Now, I'm not a street dude. I'm not involved in this, but I'm a media entity.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, what do I do with that information? Well, if I put it out, I could say, I could just say what he said, but that's immediately putting him in an investigation.
Okay.
But I feel like he wants to get some of the credit from it.
Was 6ix9ine?
No, it wasn't 6.
Okay.
This guy.
See, situations like that though, that's not smart on his behalf.
It wasn't. It absolutely was not. It absolutely wasn't.
Especially if he a street nigga telling a civilian.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He puts it in my hand, and now I'm like, you know, granted, obviously it was a couple years ago, so I'm still like 10 years plus. So I'm like, I don't want the police to have no leads and to be like, well, academics is the first person who said these are the guys responsible. But I even say that. Why is the street nigga telling me?
You know why they telling you? Stop playing. You know why they telling you?
The clout.
You created that lane for them niggas.
No. I know why they're telling me,
Yeah.
but I do know that if I say it, one of you guys are gonna get locked up. And when you get locked up at that point,
Act police.
it's not even gonna help my brand because people are gonna blame me. They're gonna call me Vlad. Okay, second thing. Some shit happened to a popular rapper, a Florida rapper in LA. Got shot.
Okay.
I mean, this shit didn't even hit the blogs yet. 3.5 minutes later, yo, did you hear the news? I get a call. Did you hear the news? Like, what news? You ain't hear the news, bro? I said, well, what's the news? Yo, I heard so-and-so got shot. I'm like, no, he didn't. I already got shot. I'm like, what? All of a sudden, they start signaling. Yeah, we handle that. Okay, what's the point of you telling me that?
Yeah.
So now, remember, I'm a media guy. I'm not a street guy.
Yeah.
So, and I guess I'm like throwing it to you guys because, like, I do believe sometimes the street guys see the allure of the clout and feel they could play both sides in the sense of we want the credit and the clout for doing this stuff, but we obviously don't want to go to jail. So, like, we're going to kind of snitch to the blogger or we're going to send them information. Yeah. Like, you know, think about
both sides of the fence.
Think about Meek Mill.
Can't do that.
Meek Mill back with the Drake thing. They beat up Quentin Miller. They hit me first. They said, hey, listen, yo, we caught that nigga Quentin lacking. We beat his ass up. We got it on tape. So I'm like, all right, so you're telling me this because you're going to give me the tape and I'm going to release it.
Yeah,
I'm like, TMZ again. This is 2015.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we just waiting to see if this fuck nigga going to deny if we beat him up. So I'm like, all right, so what do I do with this information? Do I go tell everybody? So now they're putting me in street business. So now if I go say that, and then the LADA says there was an assault on Quentin Miller, let's go talk to him. Academics just said this. They're gonna go talk. They're gonna call me the snitch, but really, sometimes the street dudes play into the internet, and I think that's where I'm kind of throwing it back to you guys.
Basically, clout is the new drug. All these, like I said, you might have not thought you was creating it, but that whole culture came from the war in Chirac. Like, when I first found out about all these niggas tweeting about killing niggas and shit, we was in disbelief because we in Cali. Nigga, you're going to jail. So I'm like, how these niggas getting away with all this shit? Yeah, talking about it, making videos about it. Like, this, it was insane to me at the time. But then you seeing these niggas blow up and become rich off of that. Like 051 Melly. This nigga don't even rap and this nigga got a fan base. Niggas looking up to the nigga like, oh my God, Melly. Just from chipping niggas. So niggas in the hood is seeing that. Well, shit, if I can get Act to say my name, fuck it, I might be rich tomorrow. Even niggas who didn't even do it, they just claiming the body, or they claiming the hit, or they claiming somebody else work. But if Act say my name, I'm lit now. And shit, this song gonna crack before the police come or the ops come. I'm gonna be rich and gone by then. That's a lot of these little niggas' mindsets. You gotta realize you're dealing with niggas on drugs, niggas who got undeveloped brains, niggas who got low education. So this is, they're out now. You know what they looking at, okay, if I go put some work in, these bloggers gonna say my name, I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna be the next Vaughn. Look at Lil Jeff. That's what he was doing.
I agree with you. And I wonder, because somebody